All right. So, good day, yogis. My name is Brooke Blankenship, and we are going to be doing some Sunday yin yoga for our shoulders and neck, upper body, opening things up, especially since most of us are doing a lot of this thing these days, leaning over tablets and computers. It's really nice to be able to open up and allow those muscles to expand and release. So we're going to get started on our back today. You're going to take one block on its lowest setting, and then one block is going to be just angled up, okay? And then this may not be comfortable for you, so if it's not, I want you to go ahead and use your blanket to adjust. So you can use your blanket, lay it across just to give yourself a little bit of padding. You might not need it, okay? But making yourself comfortable. We are going to be here for a few minutes. So making your way down onto your incline, your upper back and the tips of your shoulder blades should be just barely touching that block. Your neck, this block is coming right at the base of your head and neck, okay? And we're just going to allow that upper body to open up, finding some stillness. So we hold positions in yin yoga to allow the muscles to release, increasing our circulation. Slowly rolling over to the side off of your props. We're going to push ourselves back up to seated. And we're going to come right into a seated forward fold over our legs. Now, this is going to be an extended one, so I want you to prop yourself up with any props that you need. So maybe that's one bolster or pillow, maybe that's two. Maybe you'd like to rest your head on the block and bringing it forward. So finding that height, you can use two bolsters if you'd like. Give your chest some support too, okay? So laying the bolsters or a combination of the bolsters and the blocks in front of you, and then allowing that upper body to be heavy, dropping the head. Slowly pushing the upper body back up. Removing the bolsters from your stack. Keeping your blocks close by, because we're going to use those now for a supported bridge pose. So bending the knees, allowing the upper body to sink back down onto the mat. We're going to bring those heels in as close as we can to the behind, okay? Your feet are going to be hip width distance. Bringing those heels in as close as you can. We're going to lift up our hips towards the sky, and we're going to use the blocks to support our bridge. So taking the blocks and putting them right underneath of the sacrum, right above that tailbone, okay? So maybe you have one block, maybe you play with the height of the block, maybe you feel for 2 blocks. Okay, so supporting yourself underneath the sacrum, this should feel really, really good. And just allowing the palms to face up towards the sky, the chest, the chin to come in towards the chest, and just allowing the upper body, the whole body to be very heavy. Gravity taking its force. Focusing on the breath, on the inhale and the exhale. Very slowly lifting up the hips and removing those blocks. Rolling that vertebrae back down onto the floor, one at a time. And then heel toeing those feet out to the outside edges of your mat and allowing your knees to tent together in constructive rest. Just taking a moment to reset, neutralize. And then rolling over to the side of your body where you're going to come into what I like to call side watching TV pose. So bringing your hand down and just allowing the body to rest in this pose. Our knees and our feet are in one line together, hips are stacked, and we're just allowing that side body and the armpit to float down towards the earth. Using your opposite hand to push you back up a little bit. We're actually going to stick the block underneath of our arm now. So you're gonna have to play with the placement and figure out what feels best, but we are applying some pressure into that armpit area. And we're gonna come back down and lay on our elbow again, this sideline TV watching pose, okay? But that block is going to be pushing into our armpits. Again, if this is super uncomfortable, feel free to put a blanket underneath, okay, in between your armpit and the block. But we're going to be doing a lot of compressing there in those lymph nodes and glands there. So wherever you are, just breathing into this. Pushing yourself back up through seated slowly. We're going to move our way to the other side. So setting yourself up first without the block. Finding that TV watching pose and just allowing the armpit to float down towards the mat. Pushing yourself back up a little bit, finding that block, and we're going to position that block again in the underarm area, finding comfort there where you can, and then setting back up with the head resting on the hand. Breathing into that pressure that's being applied to the underarm. Unrolling very slowly and gently from your armpit contraction. Coming up to a simple seated position. Simple cross-legged. We're going to stretch through the front of the chest and the shoulders now. So bringing your hand down, we're going to bring our opposite arm back and cactus it. Okay, so it's going to come into a goalpost, but come back behind you. Lowering that hand back down. We're going to bring the back side of that hand to the lower back, okay? And then allow your elbow, your ear to come straight to your shoulder. Feeling that opening up through the front of the body, the shoulder, front of the chest. Breathing into the neck release and maybe moving the position of the chin slightly. Bringing the resting hand up to the side of the face, cradling the head back up. Releasing, and we're going to come to the other side, not before swapping the cross of our legs. So swapping the cross of your legs, and then we're gonna allow that opposite hand to come down. Arm comes up, bends into that cactus arm or half of a goalpost, and then opening up that elbow towards the back of the room. The palm even comes slightly open towards the sky. Releasing that arm down behind the back. Again, we're going to drop the ear towards the neck. Oops, other way. Nope, it is this way. Gosh, that feels funny in my back. All right. One way is way looser than the other. So we're pressing that palm into the back, or not the palm, the back of the hand into the small of the back. And then moving the chin, taking any little adjustments to find where that feels best in your body and your neck. And then once you get a spot that you want to work on, just taking a moment and sending your breath there. Using your free hand to bring it to the side of your face, cradling the head back up to neutral. Let's take a moment to just roll back into our cat-like spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Rolling forward, pulling the chest forward, chin comes up towards the sky. And then we're gonna make our way down to our bellies. We're gonna come into side lying serpent pose. So side lying serpent pose can be a really intense one. So please go easy with yourself. We're gonna take our arm and place it out with our palm placing flat on the floor. Your shoulder and your wrist should be in one line. So arm's not back here or up here. It's coming straight out from the body, okay? Then we're going to use our opposite hand to push our body over. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you push so that that foot is flat on the floor. Maybe you bring the hand behind to the lower back. Breathing here wherever you are. Slowly unrolling, coming back to neutral, laying in a belly down Savasana with your hands down by your sides. And then we're going to find that side lying serpent on the other side. So bringing the opposite arm out, away from the body, in line with the shoulder. Okay, so right angle between the body and the arm. Then rolling over, finding how this position feels best in your body today. Maybe bringing that opposite hand to the small of the back, really opening up through those shoulders. Unwinding, coming back to the belly and coming into crocodile pose, resting the wrists and forearms on top of each other and just allowing the head to be heavy. And then we're going to make our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. I'd like for you, for this Shavasana, to bring with you your bolster and prop it down underneath of your legs. So adding a little bit of height to your knees. And then I'd like you to take your blanket, if you have it, and just roll it up a little bit. Give your neck a little support, okay? So I'm just gonna roll my blanket up about halfway. So I've got about that much thickness. Lay that down behind me, and that's gonna go right underneath of my neck. So adjusting yourself, getting yourself set up, and then allowing the body to be heavy, allowing the shoulder blades and the shoulders to rest on the mat, feeling the spine and the neck supported. Surrender to your feelings. Sometimes we think being strong means not giving in to our emotions, but that's not strength. That's denial and resistance. Real power comes from being vulnerable enough to feel whatever we feel. Keep going, we tell ourselves. Don't give in. This will pass. But the only way to pass through these times is by feeling what we feel. The longer we fight and resist our emotions, the longer the situation will continue that is triggering them. We may not see the lesson until we feel the feeling. We may not see the issue, the next step, the way out, or the way through until we give in. Feel our emotions, then release them. It's not enough to talk about them, although that will help bring them into consciousness, into the light of day. But talking about our feelings is different from surrendering to feeling the emotional energy. Feel the feeling, then release it. Now your soul and the universe can move you forward into new circumstances, into growth, an issue to work on, such as freedom, forgiveness, acceptance, love, or valuing some part of ourselves or our lives, may naturally and automatically emerge. If we pay attention to the process by which we grow, we will clearly see that each step of the way, feeling our feeling, accepting it, and then releasing it, triggered the next step of growth. Soon we will see that we are learning a new lesson. We are on our way again. There is magic in allowing our feelings to pass through us. Magic in giving in. There is power, more than we think, in being vulnerable enough to feel what we feel. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing life back into the body, movement, stretching the arms up overhead, finding length through the body. And then when you're ready, rolling over to your side and pushing your way back up to seated. We bring our palms together, thumb knuckles to the forehead. The light in me loves and honors the light in each of you. Thank you so much for joining me, and namaste.